Welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal channel. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. The Champions League is back and Arsenal are back as well. This Tuesday, we take on Atletico Madrid. Diego Simeone is coming to the Emirates Stadium. Not an easy game. He's a weird manager, isn't he? But he's one of the managers that I've always wanted Arsenal to go against, especially under Mikel Arteta, because I've always been asking myself, how does this game look like? How would this game look like? Imagine Mikel Arteta's defensive tactics. He's a very, very defensively clean man. And then Diego Simeone and his defensive tactics as well. I don't know, it could be a boring game. I mean, let me know in your comment box below, what is your prediction? What is your opinion of this game? Are we going to see a very boring game? Are we going to see an end-to-end game, you know, both teams attacking and maybe letting it loose a little bit? We have seen Atletico Madrid against Liverpool this season already in the Champions League. They lost that game to 3-2. But there was something very interesting about that game. First and foremost, within the first 10 minutes, Liverpool were 2 goals up. And then it took them a late winner to break Atletico Madrid, who had actually equalized in very, very superb ways through Llorente. So, I don't know what to expect out of this game, but let's talk Arsenal and Atletico Madrid. And of course, with my previews, we always start with a prediction because why not? Let's back Arsenal once again. Now, I said this against Fulham. There are games that are not going to be easy. Like going to the Craven Cottage, that is never easy. And in the Champions League, there are teams you really don't want to play. ATM is one of those. They're rough, they're difficult, they're structured, and they've got a manager that is kind of a beast, really. It's kind of a savage manager. So it should be entertainment. It should be a good game in terms of antics on the touchline. But I'm still going to back Arsenal in this game. And I'm very, very scared of Atletico Madrid. I don't know what to expect out of them. They've got a very, very good attack. Julian Alvarez, Alexander Soloth, Llorente. You have the likes of Antoine Griezmann. They've got a very good team there. And the structure of that team, you don't just think about Atletico Madrid and you think about beating them. But I'm going to say, Arsenal are on a good run. We are in form. We are defending well. Defensively is part of our identity. When you think about Arsenal, you think about the way they defend, isn't it? So for that reason, and for that reason alone, I'm going to back Arsenal. I don't know whether I'm making a mistake, but I'm going to go Arsenal 2, Atletico Madrid 1. Now, when I look at that Fulham game, I know we should have conceded a goal. I know Arsenal were lucky not to concede. So against Atletico Madrid, higher level opposition, higher level opponents, I think they score, right? And I won't be surprised if they score first. But again, I'm going to give you this prediction. Over the weekend, I said Saka and GYOKEREZ would score. None of them scored. This is a game where I'm 100% sure Saka will score. I am 100% sure Saka will score. I've got the feeling, but I also think that in terms of exploiting spaces in behind, Saka does that very well. He's playing a little bit narrow these days, and I think that is very deliberate from Mikel Arteta to play him closer to goal. I think he scores in this game. So 2-1, Saka on the score sheet, and maybe Mikel Merino. Like, there is that. It could be a glancing header, maybe Mikel Merino. So 2-1, and then on the other side, Julian Alvarez will find the back of the net. An Arsenal win, and it's okay. So in the Champions League right now, there is very little pressure on Arsenal. We have won our first 2 games, but it's 8 games. You need to win at least 4 in order for you to be in that position where you're safe and you're guaranteed of qualification, especially qualification that doesn't need you to go into, playoffs to go to the round of 16. So this is a kind of game where winning isn't a must because you're playing a very difficult opponent, but losing isn't an option. That is the truth. You don't lose against Atletico Madrid. We are going to have some difficult games coming up. I think we have Barca in the Champions League sometime ahead, right? So Atletico Madrid, the worst we can get as a result should be a draw, and then we move on. Okay, let's talk starting 11. Let's talk about rotations. Now, over the weekend, we have the Premier League, and of course, the Premier League is becoming hotter and very exciting. It's gonna need Arsenal to keep winning. It's gonna need Arsenal to get a run of form as we wait for Man City to drop more points, as we wait for Liverpool to drop more points as well. So, do we rotate in this game? I think that's a very quick key question. Do we rotate in this game? In my opinion, yes, but not too much. This is what I mean. So, Atletico Madrid is a team that you cannot play Ethan Nwaneri, Lewis Kelly. You can't undermine them. They're a good side, they're a proper side, and they have a very, very good manager. So if Arsenal are gonna go strong, right? If Arsenal are really gonna go strong, it is going to take us some very good effort to beat them, however strong we go. So I think the lineup should be as strong as possible, and then after ATM and Crystal Palace, we can maybe rotate. Just a moment. We can maybe rotate against West Ham, right? I think we also have some EFL Cup game coming up. You can rotate in those competitions. So this is my starting 11. Raya stays in goal. I think this is not the game for Kepa. Raya stays in goal 100%. The back four, in my opinion, stays the same. Now, Ricardo Calafiori is better, if you've noticed. Better defensively. In terms of picking up those injuries, is also much better as well. So I'll play Calafiori, Saliba, Gabriel, and Jalen Timber. Now, the problem I have with this team, for me, is this. When Ben White plays at right back, we see a lot of bombing forward. Now, that is supposed to be compensated by Ricardo Calafiori on the left-hand side. And for me, he doesn't do it very well. He really, really doesn't do it very well. And I don't know. I'm just not comfortable with the amount of time our fullbacks overlap. They do underlap a lot of the time, but overlapping, it's not satisfying enough, right? But that should be the back four. Defensively, that should be able to deal with Griezmann, Julian Alvarez, and maybe Alexander Soloth, depending on whatever kind of lineup Diego Simeone wants to put out there. In midfield, that is where the question maybe comes in. Do you introduce a player like Mikel Merino in midfield, or maybe Rice, Merino, and Eze? You could do that, but again, I don't see the point in it. Rice has got the energy to run him a whole season. Zubimendi is still this fresh guy in the team. He's still getting used to the team. He's still getting that, joy. So I wouldn't keep him out. And Eze, there is something I like about Eze. And I don't know whether people have noticed this, right? There is this hype on Victor GYOKEREZ. Yes, there is. But Eberechi Eze is one of the players that I really like because he just does things that Arsenal didn't do last campaign and many Arsenal players don't want to do. And one of them being his starting position. He will start a little bit high, but he allows Saka to start very high. In fact, if you looked at the West Ham at the Fulham game of the weekend, when Arsenal were playing out from the back, you could see Eze, but on your screen, when the ball was in our half, you couldn't see Saka. I love that. I really, really do. That means that having Eze on the pitch alongside Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi, it allows you to get Saka into a very high starting position, right? So you're having Rice and Zubimendi. They're comfortable dropping deep and picking up the ball and being on the ball in those deeper areas. So that means that Eze doesn't have to come very deep. So what he does, he drops as far as the center line. And because Eze has drifted wide and has dropped as deep as the center line, Saka doesn't have to drop past Eze, right? So Saka has a very high starting position, and when Arsenal progress the ball, we have numbers in the final third. We can quickly put numbers in the final third and create a lot of problems for the opponent. So I want as part of that midfield, especially without Martin Odegaard. Now, the attacking three over the weekend were Trossard, who I thought had a decent game. Saka had a good game, but I would never drop Saka. That's the thing. And then Victor GYOKEREZ. I think with Victor GYOKEREZ, I have my questions, but still, would I play him in this game? Yes. So I would maybe tweak it and say Gabriel Martinelli starting over Trossard for pace, Saka starting, and maybe Victor GYOKEREZ starting. That would be my starting 11 against Atletico Madrid. Now, I've said Arsenal win this game, but I want to shed for you a picture of what we might see. Because, again, these are two very, very, very defensively cautious managers that none of them is going to leave the other just to pick up the ball and do whatever they want with it. I think there will be moments of tension. Arsenal will have the ball, and we shall lock Atletico Madrid in a very, very good defensive shape, and we shall try to maybe suffocate them. And I expect ATM as well to do the same against Arsenal. When I was watching them against Liverpool, I was very, very surprised. Liverpool created very many chances in the first half. Like in the opening 15 minutes, Liverpool created about 5 very good chances. That game could have been 5-0 by the time Atletico Madrid woke up. But when they woke up, it was 2-0, and they equalized. They scored 1 before halftime, Marcos Llorente, and Marcos Llorente again scored a beauty to make it 2-2. So this is a team that is not going to sit back and let you play. They're not just going to wait for you to come onto them. They will create some real trouble, right? It should be an entertaining game. It should be a very good game. But it's one where Arsenal should be able to pick up a point. And maybe if Atletico Madrid, show those defensive problems that they showed against Liverpool, won't be surprised if Arsenal really win this one like 3-2 or 3-1. But I'm sure Arsenal get a result. And when I say result, that's like a draw, if not a win. I'm not sure about the win. You guys let me know in the comment box below if you're confident, but I'm very confident we get a result in this game. Very confident.